Photoshop helps us to edit what we call raster images, images that you usually have. They could be JPEGs, they could be PNG. So that is Photoshop. They use it for editing those photos and manipulating them. Now we have Adobe Photoshop version history. Photoshop was created in 1988 by somebody called Thomas Knoll and John Knoll. Okay, that is in 1988. Okay, we have had different versions of Photoshop. We started with the Photoshop 2003. That is the earliest version of Photoshop. So we have 2005 Photoshop, which is called the CS2, and then also we have 2007, which was called Photoshop CS3, and then we have 2008 Photoshop. They released a Photoshop version called CS4. Then in 2010 they released CS5. And currently, as you can see, currently we are using Photoshop 2012, which was released in Photoshop CS6 was released in 2012. And actually, the one that we are using, the one that I have on the screen here, this is Photoshop CS6. Okay. And then also we have 2013. We began with the Photoshop CC. In 2014, they released another version, which is Photoshop CC 2014. And in 2015, they had another one, which is CC 2015. And of course, we have gone up to 2020. This one was Photoshop 2020 was created in 2019, and this was the one that I had in my machine actually. But I realized that my machine is the RAM size is quite small, so I would find that my machine was actually not responding. When I ran that Photoshop 2020, my machine was not really responding to my clicks, my mouse clicks, my mouse movements. So it requires, for Photoshop 2020, you require a machine that has over like 12 GB RAM, and that is quite high. Mine, I think, is less than that. That's why I uninstalled it and I went back to my Photoshop CS6. All right, now we are going to start with familiarizing ourselves with Photoshop, the various panels and tools that are there in Photoshop. And we're going to start with the workspace. So I want you to open a new document. Can you see this can you see this window that I've opened?
Yes.
Okay, so this is my workspace, and currently is blank. I have not opened any document, and it's called the workspace. The workspace is basically the working environment in Photoshop, and you usually have different tools that have been docked. Actually, this one on the left here, most of you have done other softwares. You know, on the left, you usually have the tools. These ones are the tools that you'll be using to create and to manipulate our photos. Then on the left, you have other tools. All these ones have been docked. What I'm doing currently, I'm just undocking the various tools that we have. You just click and drag. This is what we call undocking. When you drag different windows that have been arranged, this is what we call undocking. So currently I've just undocked, I've disorganized my workspace. Now, this workspace, for you to restore it back to the way it was before, you just need to go back to Window, and then you see somewhere written Workspace. Ours, the default one is Essential. So currently I've disorganized Essential, and I want to reorganize it again. I want to reset it to the way it was previously. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on Reset Essentials. So once we click on that, Reset Essentials, our window will go back to the way it was previously. So this is the default workspace, Essentials. Essentials is the default, but also we have others. Like, for example, people who are doing things like painting, if you click on that painting, your window will be set in a certain way. Like for example, you can see this brush presets. If, for example, you go again to window, workspace, and maybe you choose photography, you realize that your window also reorganizes it is reorganized in a certain way, or your workspace is reorganized in a certain way. If, for example, also I go to again window, workspace, I choose typography, you realize that the window has again changed in a different way. Like mine is still loading. Yeah, so there it is. So this is what we call the workspace. The workspace, you see, you organize your window, but mostly for us, we will be using Essentials as default. Essentials is the one which is default. Of course, even you yourself, you can have your own workspace. You can organize, like for example, I can just undock my tools, and then I place it in the middle there. And then I go to window, workspace, and then I choose new workspace. And then I give it my name, A.M. And then I say save. Okay, currently, okay, it has a period. So they're saying I'm not supposed to have a period. Period is this dot, so I'm going to delete that period. So I'm just going to call it AM with a capital AM. And then I click on save. So let me go and reset. Windows, workspace, I reset to Essentials. So currently, let me just reset again to Essentials, reset to Essentials. So window, workspace, AM. If I click on AM, my toolbar will be positioned where it was previously. So you can actually reset you can have your own workspace. You just disorganize, you arrange your window the way you want it, and then you go to window, workspace, and then you click on new, you go to where? New workspace, and then you give it a name. You can call it KK, and then you save. Okay, so every time, like for example, if somebody if you switch it to another, like the default Essentials, and then maybe you want to go back to the one that you had set, you just need to go back to window, workspace, and then I have this one workspace called KK. So if I click on KK, to go back to the way it was. Now, if you want to delete the workspace, you can just go to window, workspace, and then you say delete workspace. So currently I want to delete AM. So I just click delete. Do you really want to delete the workspace? I say yes. Okay. I also want to delete KK. So I go again to window, workspace, and then go to delete workspace, and then I go and choose why is my KK. KK is active, so we cannot be able to change it when it's active. So you have to change it first before you delete it. So I go to window, workspace, I say reset Essentials. Where is reset? Yeah, there it is. So now I want to delete KK. So I go to window, workspace, and then I go to delete workspace. I choose workspace that I want to delete is KK, the one that I created. So I click on delete, and then I say yes. So I'm hoping that that is clear to everybody, that you can actually reorganize your window and then give it a name. Give that workspace a name of your choice, such that every time maybe you want to do something, you just switch to that workspace, and that one makes your work easier. But the default one that we use in CS6 or in any other Photoshop, we use Essentials. Okay. Okay. Now that is workspace. I've introduced you to workspace. Let's continue to the next. The next thing is to introduce ourselves to what we call our different tools. Like for example, if I go to file, everybody click on file and then click on new. Once you click on new, just go directly and click OK. Don't worry about the things that you're seeing there. So file and then new, and then you just click OK. This one is also called, this is called the canvas. This white area, or our working area, is what we call the canvas. Okay. And now let me go back to my PowerPoint. I want to show you something. This window, I'm very sure, is not visible to most of you. The one that I have in Excel. But just to the white area that we have here is, I've said, is called the canvas. Anything that is inside this section, the white section here, is what is printed. If something falls outside the canvas, it will not be printed. Okay. Then, of course, we have our tools on the left. Tools are classified into different categories. As you can see, the first tool here, let me just drag my tools into the middle of the screen. You can see they are divided. There is a separator here, separating the tools. These ones are called the selection tools, but I will be talking about them. These ones are called the resolution tools, the drawing tools. Okay, so I'll be revisiting all that. The tools are usually the tools are usually on the left. So, is there somebody with a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Should we use the landscape page, or we can use any?
Okay, currently we have not gone to that.
Okay.
Actually, you just click on new, and then you just say okay, and then everything else will be okay. So currently, I'm just introducing you to this one. The tools are here, and I've said that tools are divided into categories. There, as you can see, there is a separator. The first section, you realize there is a line. This line is usually called separator. It separates the categories. So the first tools are called selection tools. Then you go to the next tool, the next category. You usually call them the resolution tools. Then after the separator, you find these other ones. These ones are called the drawing tools. And of course, there's others, the zooming tools. They are right here. And then, of course, you have got the coloring tools at the bottom. We'll be using them to do our various. Okay. So, as you can see, we say the first category in our tools, they are called the selection tools. The other ones are called pixel drawing and editing tools. And then we also have another one called the vector drawing and editing tools. 3D tools. Okay, let me go back to my Photoshop. 3D tools. This one does not have the 3D tools. This one, the CS6 does not have it. Then also you have layers. If you go to the right, can you see to the right here? You have somewhere written background. Can everybody see that background? Layer section. Anything that you add, could be a picture, will be added in a new layer. Currently, we don't have any layer, but if you want to add some layers, you just need to click. There's a certain button, the one that I'm clicking right now. I hope everybody can see. If you click on that, and then you choose new layer, and then it will ask you the name of the layer. I can call it me. And I click OK. So you realize now you have two layers. If you want another layer, you just go to new layer. Again, click on the same point where I'm clicking. Then you choose new layer. And then I can call it me too. Okay. So currently, we have 3 layers. We have 1, 2, and the background. The background is still locked. You can see the lock symbol there. That padlock. If you want to activate this background layer, you just need to double click, and then you click OK. And then it will be also active. So this is called the layer section. This is where anything that you add in Photoshop, could be text, could be an image, is added into a new layer. And I will be showing you how we work with these layers as we continue, because they are very important in Photoshop. What else do we have in? Also, we have panel options right here below. I hope you can see. These ones are called the panel options. Of course, we'll be using them as we advance in Photoshop. These ones, they are called panel. They are called the panel options. They are right here at the bottom. Right here at the bottom. As you can see, for example, if I want to delete one of the layers here, I want to delete me too. I want to delete that one. I just click on me too, and then I go to these panel options. You can see there's a dustbin somewhere, and then I click on delete. Do you want to delete the layer too? I say yes. You see, if I want to create a new layer also, another new layer, instead of coming to this point and saying new layer and say new layer, I can just go back to this point, and then I just next to the dustbin or the recycle bin, there is a new layer. Once you click on it, it will give you a new layer, but this time it will not give you the option for naming that layer, not unless you come to this layer and then you right click and then maybe you say name. You see this one? You right click on the layer one, or currently this, or double click, just double click on that layer one, and then you give it a name. Mine, I'll just call it RRR, and then I press enter. So if I want to rename me, this layer called me, if I want to rename it, I'll just double click on it. And then once I double click on it, I give it a name. And then I press enter. Now we have a different name. If I want to rename layer 0, I double click on layer 0, and then I give it a name. And then I press enter. That's how we rename layers. If I want to add another layer, I go back to the same point. I say create new layer, or you can go to this option here, and then I choose a new layer. You can duplicate layer, you can delete layer. So this is the layer section. Let's see it somewhere else. Also, we have what we call the color and swatches panel. So that one is right here. This is colors. If you want to add color, maybe on a shape, on text, you use either color, this color, or you use swatches. These are called swatches. Yeah, so swatches are for coloring. Which other one do you want? Okay. Then also we have what we call the menu bar. These are the menu bar. The file, edit, image, layer, type, select, filter, view, window, help. This is what we call the menu bar. It's familiar to everybody, I think. That's good. I think I've covered that. Toolbars. So as you can see in the tools, these tools that we are going to use, that we'll be using for our work, they are divided into several sections. One of the sections is called the selection tools. The selection tools, we have the move tool, which is the first one. This one, we also have another one is called the lasso tool. They are there. These ones, the paint tool is there, the cropping tool is there, the eyedropper is there. So don't worry about them for now. Don't worry about the names. But as we continue, as we progress, we'll be able to know the different tools by name. As for now, just know that the tools are divided into few categories. The first category, this one, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first 6 tools in Photoshop, they are called the selection tools. Then the second category, we have the pixel. We have this healing tool, the brush tool, the clone stamp tool. We have the history brush, the brush tool, the gradient tool, the blur tool, the burn tool. These ones, don't worry about them, but the names, those names for now. But as we continue, we'll be using them. I will be showing you the purpose of each and every tool. So those ones are called the pixel editing tools. Then in the next category, that is the third category here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tools. Those ones are called the text and vector editing tools. We have the pen tool, the text tool, the selection tool, and the shape tools. These ones are used to create text. Maybe if you want to type, you click on the text tool. If you want to select, you use the selection tool. If you want to draw a line, you can use a pen tool. This one is called the pen tool. And they fall under the category of text and vector editing tools. Then also we have these ones, the navigation tools. Currently, my Photoshop, let me go back to my Photoshop. The navigation tools, we have the hand tool here. It looks like a hand, a human hand. Actually, when you point on it, you see hand. Then also we have the zoom tool. Those ones are in the category of the navigation. They help us to navigate through the document. If you want to move, like for example, if I click on the hand tool, I can actually grab things. If my document is long, I can actually scroll up using the hand tool. You just need to click and drag. And then from there, you'll be able to go up and down. If you are going down, you just hold your document, you click on that, and then you scroll up downwards. That is the purpose of the hand tool. Then, of course, we have the zoom tool. Zoom tool, I'll be showing you how we use it. We either zoom in or zoom out of the document. Zooming in or zooming out. Those are in the category of the navigation tools. Then also we have the color picker. The color picker here is actually the default colors in Photoshop are black and white. Okay, that is one. The black is for the foreground, and the white is for setting background color. Yeah, so these ones, they are the default color. They are the default colors. I'll be showing you as we advance. I'll be showing you how we work with them. The colors, the color pickers. Then also we have got the last category is called the quick mask mode. The quick mask mode is the very last tool here. Let me just scroll it up. It's this one. This is for masking. As we advance in the course, I'll be showing you how we work with it. And of course, we have then another one which is called, if you want to change your screen, you can change it maybe from standard screen mode. Currently, we are using the standard screen mode. If you choose the full screen mode, of which I don't want you to use, but if you want to test, you can try, but I don't want us to use that one for now. It's when you want to use your screen in full screen. Or let me just try. You see, that one is full screen. You can see that the screen has changed. But let me go back to the standard view. Yes, in full screen, it can be escape. Let me just press escape. Okay, full screen. You can see this is now full screen. When I'm using Photoshop in full screen, and you can see, yeah. So to escape, I just press escape key to exit from the full screen, and I go back. We go back to our. Just a minute. That's why. So let me go back to my standard. Yeah. Now I'm back. I'm back to my standard. Cancel. Yeah. Let me go back to my standard. My standard. Yeah. I like that. I like the standard view. Yes. All right. So that is the introduction to the tools. So we say the first category is selection tool, pixel editing tools, text and vector editing tools. The next category is navigation tools, color picker, and the last one is quick mask mode, of which I'll be demonstrating to you as we continue in the course how we use them. Then also we have the option bar. The option bar in Photoshop is usually this part here. Can you see this part, the one that I'm pointing using my mouse? This is what we're calling the option bars. These options change depending on the tool that you are using. If, for example, I click on a certain tool, like any tool, just click on any tool, you realize your options have changed here at the top. If I choose a different tool, the option changes. If I click on another tool, the option bar changes. So it keeps on changing depending on the tool that I'm currently using. If I choose another tool, the options changes. If I choose another tool, the option. So these options change depending on what you are using or the tool that you are using. All right, let's continue. Of course, I have told you what we mean by the menu bar. These ones, if I click on the file menu, you see all these ones. You see new, open, browse in bridge, browse in mini bridge. All these ones are the additional features that you can have. You have editing, of course. As you advance in Photoshop and in graphic designs, you don't actually need to click on this. You just need to use the shortcut. You don't like if I need to use a certain feature in image. I don't need to go and click on it. I just need to use a combination of keys. Like for example, if I click on image, you can see that we have got the shift plus control plus L. That is for auto tone. So as you advance in Photoshop and in graphic designs, you don't need to, because of the kind of speed, because you realize that in graphic designs, you need to be somebody who's very fast. So as you advance, you will actually need to know these shortcuts, these keyboard combinations, the shift plus control plus B, the alt plus control plus I. But that one is for advanced users. Let's continue. Basic operations. Now, do you guys have any images saved in your computer? Let me send you one image. Do you have an image? Okay, just create a folder on your desktop, and then call that folder Photoshop. So go to the desktop, and then create a folder, or what we can do, we can also create a folder, call it graphic designs, and then inside that folder graphic designs, create other folders. Like for example, currently we are doing Photoshop. So just inside that folder, create another folder called Photoshop. And then inside that folder called Photoshop, you're going to add some images. Maybe you have some photos in your computer. You can save some few images inside your Photoshop, inside your Photoshop folder. Mine I have, for example, if I minimize my screen here, I minimize this, and I minimize that, and I minimize that one also. If I go to my graphic design class here, I have my Photoshop folder. And inside that Photoshop folder, we have lesson 1. And I have few photos that I have saved, of course. If you don't have photos, you can download them from the internet. All right. Now, let me show you how we open. So as everybody, let me just give you some time to save those images in your folder. Few images, you need like 5 or 6 folders, 6 images, or just 2 images, because you're not going to work. So once you are done, just go to the comment section and in the chat section, and then say done, so that I know, I can see whether we are together.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, there's somebody who's asking a question?
Sir, Darshil cannot join.
There? Or he cannot join, eh?
The
okay.
device problem.
Yes?
Sir, his device is spoiled.
Okay. So tell him to make sure that tomorrow he joins us, so that you will not be like left behind, or you will not be lagging behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell him to make sure he does those he repairs it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so most of you are done. Let me see whether there are other guys.
Is it any photo or you have specific?
Yeah, any photo. You can just use any photo because for now.
Okay.
But as of in the future, I'll be selecting some photos for you and then posting it in the comment section, so that we will be editing one image, all of us. All right. So I can see most of us are done. Ratna, are you done?
So my laptop is spoiled.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, you have told me. So we have 1, 2, 3. So since the accords, still okay. That's good. Now I'll be showing you how we place an image. Let me just close. Let me just close my. So just close your window. Okay, I've done some. So what you're going to do, just click on File, and then you go to Open. File, Open. Then you go to Desktop. Maybe that's where your folder is. Mine is also on the desktop. And then once you go to the desktop, you're going to scroll down to where your graphic design folder is. And mine is somewhere here. So just click on it, then you say open. And then I go to your, just open until you get to your Photoshop folder, and then you open it. Now, once you are done, select an image. Like for example, I have selected one of the image, and then we say open. Once you select an image by clicking on it, you just click open. Once you click on open, you realize that the image has been placed on your canvas for editing.
Hello, what type of document, the picture, should be saved as a JPEG or what?
It should be a JPEG. Yours is not opening?
It's not open.
Okay. Now, let me show you something. At times you may realize you have an image, but when you try to open it using Photoshop, it's not opening. Is that so?
Yes, yes.
So now, you guys will just give me some 2 minutes. I explain to him what he's supposed to do. So I want you to go to the start button, then you type paint. Okay?
Paint, okay.
Then you open that paint program. It's very important. I usually find it very useful when I'm doing graphic designs. Then once you open the paint program, you're going to go back to your folder, the folder that has got your photos. Like for example, the one is on the desktop, and then you open the graphic design Photoshop. Then you identify your image. Like for example, if yours is a horse, like mine, you click on it, drag it, and drop it. Okay, all. Let me undo. It's not working. You can go to File, Open, the same way we went. Then you go to Desktop. You go to your graphic design folder. There it is, graphic design, Photoshop. You open that, and then you identify the image, and then you open. So once you've opened that image, you're going to save it again. You go to File, Save As, and then you're going to save it in the folder, in your Photoshop folder, and then you change the save as type. You change it to JPEG. File name is image-based, then save as type, you change it to JPEG. And then once you save that, are we together?
Yes.
So just change that save as type, and then you click on save. Currently, do you want to replace mine? Do I want to replace? I can just call it image-based 2, and then I say save. So now from there, once you are done saving, you go back to your Photoshop. Once you go back to your Photoshop, you click on File, you say Open, and then you go to your graphic design folder, you open the Photoshop folder, and then you go to your image, the image that you saved as a JPEG, and then you open. You realize that the image is now opening.
Yes, sir. Give me a few minutes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's okay.
Okay, can I just change the image from the properties? Hello.
Okay, sorry, I'm asking.
Yeah.
Are you able to share your screen?
I'm using two computers.
Oh, you're using two computers, eh?
Yes.
Oh, that can be complex, eh?
Let me get a JPEG image, then I'll try what you're saying.
Yeah. Try using a JPEG. So for the rest of the class, were you able to import or to place an image in your Photoshop?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Now this image, for you to edit, okay, just let's wait for the other student, for Molo to finish what he's doing, so that we can be on the same page.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I've used a different photo. Let's
Okay.
continue.
Okay, that's quite okay. Now, for you to be able to work with this image, you have to, first of all, unlock this layer. You go to the layer section, and then you see there's a padlock. And this padlock simply means you cannot be able to do any changes using this photo. So double click on that padlock. So indicates the layer is partially locked. So double click on that, and then the name of the layer is layer 0. You can mean like layer 0, and then you click OK. So now you have activated your layer. You can be able to change, you can be able to edit this image we have. Now, let's say, for example, we want to change the color. We want to change this color, the color of this photo. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to the image on the menu bar. You can see the image option. And then once you click on image, you go to adjustment. Of course, you can see there are different types of adjustment options that we have. And let's choose something we call, one is the best. One is the best. Desaturate, just click on desaturate. Click on desaturate. This desaturate makes your photo black and white. So there it is. So once you click on desaturate, your photo is now black and white, as you can see. Okay, you can undo, Control Z. Again, you go to image, adjustment. We use desaturate. There is another one called invert. Of course, this one looks like a negative. You remember those photos that we used to have? Just choose that invert option. You see, it looks like a photo negative. You remember when you were taking photos, those old photos, the analog photos, eh?
How did you go back to the colored photo? You
do Control Z.
Okay, Control Z. Huh?
Yeah, once you do Control Z, you go again to image, adjustment, and then we were using which one? The invert. Eh? Once you choose the invert, you can see how the photo looks like. Eh? So image, adjustment, yes, invert. You see, or you can just Control I. You see, image, adjustment, invert. So image, adjustment. So you can see you have inverted your image. Control Z, undo. Again, let's go back to the way it was. Photoshop was previously. And then we go again to image, adjustment. We have what we call posterize. Yes, yes. Okay.
Once you change it to black and white, huh?
Yeah, we began with image,
yes.
Then we went to adjustment. Yes. I began by using desaturate, which changes your photo to black and white. Eh?
Yes.
Then I also went to image, adjustment, invert.
Okay, I get you.
Also, you have another one called posterize. If you click on posterize, you can see how the photo looks like. Posterize. Then, of course, you can increase the level of posterizing. Eh? If you see, the higher you go, the clearer your picture becomes. But if you go low up to level 4, actually, when you go to the lowest level 2, which is the lowest, see, your image looks like an art that was drawn by somebody using a hand instead of a photo. So that is posterize. So there it is. Now it's okay. If you don't want those changes to apply in your image, you just click on cancel. When I click on cancel, those changes will not be applied to my photo. Again, if I go to image and then I go to adjustment, I go to what we call color balance. Of course, all these ones are options for changing how your image looks, or how your image appears. So, like for example, I want us to work with color balance. If I click on color balance, are we together? Omodo, are we together?
Yes, we're together.
Yeah, we are on color balance. Now in color balance, you see there are 3 types of colors: cyan, magenta, and yellow. Also we have red, green, and blue. Okay, so for example, if I want to increase the red, but make sure your preview is activated for you to be able to preview what is happening. You can see now the red color is increasing in my photo. If I want to increase the green color in my photo, I just need to increase that one. You can see the green is too much, of course. If you want to reduce blue and maybe you increase the yellow, you can see that one there, of which it does not look very nice. So we can just increase it, let it somewhere there. So once you click OK, your image has somehow changed. The green has increased, and also, so it's image adjustment, color balance. So you increase the photo, the cyan, magenta, yellow, green, blue. Now, let's see, for example, we want to save this photo. We would want to save this photo. Now, saving, you just click on File, and then you go to Save As. So in Photoshop, we have different. So let's first of all, before we go to that format, you can just give it a name. You can give these works a name, edit it. And then the format, you can see our format currently. If I click on this drop down menu or this drop down, you'll see the different formats that are available in Photoshop. You have Photoshop PSD. So when you save your image in this format, every time somebody tries to open, they must have Photoshop installed in their machine. Okay, we have all these ones: the GIF, the JPEG, the JPEG 2000, JPEG stereo, multi-picture format, PCX, Photoshop PDF, all these ones, the TIFF. Actually, all these ones are different extensions or different file formats that you can save your Photoshop. For us, we're going to save it as Photoshop. Let's just save it as JPEG, this JPEG here. Yeah, like that. And then you say save. And then, of course, it's going to ask you the image quality. That is good. Just click OK. Also, you can save this image as a PDF document. If you want to save it as a PDF document, portable portable what? PDF is portable.
So have you used JPEG 2000 or JPEG stereo?
No, just use JPEG only. File, okay. Save as, and then you go to the. You can just call it JPEG. JPEG, that is the format we usually use. JPEG, that is JPG and JPEG and JPE. I don't use the JPEG 2000. That one is there. You may find that JPEG will not open in some machines. The famous one is the one that is known by many people is JPEG, or the one that you'll find is opening in many machines or in different types of machine is JPEG. Also, now I'm saying let's save this document as a PDF. If you want to save this one as a PDF, maybe you want to send to somebody who will do the printing for you. You don't save it, you don't send to him as a JPEG. You usually send to them as a PDF document. So just go to File, you go to Save As, and then of course you can give it a name if you want. You can give it a name, and then format. You can give it the format Photoshop PDF. So this one will be opening this image will be opening using our PDF reader if you have it in your machine. So after that, you just click on save. So your image is going to save, you see, PDF. So there's a dialog box that is saying the setting you choose in the save PDF dialog box, override your current settings in the save as. So I say save. Once you click OK, you save PDF. Do you want to continue? Yes. So there are different file formats in Photoshop. We have the first one, which is Photoshop.
So in saving PDF, you're saving Photoshop PDF.
Yeah, Photoshop PDF.
Okay.
So now, there's something I want you to know from there. I think there are different file formats. Oh, sorry. The popular file formats in Photoshop. We have one which is called the PSD. I hope everybody can see what I have on the screen. Can you see popular and useful file formats that we have in Photoshop?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the first one I said is you can save the file format as PSD. That one simply means that that file can only open using a Photoshop editor. Okay. And of course, the file size for that, when you check the size of that file is usually higher. Then also we have another one which is called the TIFF. You can save your images with the format of TIFF. TIFF simply means tagged image file format. Okay, has most of the attributes as the PSD format. Yeah, and it's also very useful when you are printing. Okay, then also we have another one which is called the JPEG. JPEG is usually called the Joint Photographic Expert Group. That is the meaning of the word JPEG, Joint Photographic Expert Group. And of course, is the most popular. Every time you take a photo, maybe using a phone or maybe using a camera, those photos are usually saved as the JPEG. Then also we have another one is called GIF. GIF simply means graphic interchange format. So this one is used to display index color mode graphics. And of course, it has got many colors. It's also we mostly use it in printing. When, for example, you are printing a poster using these large format machines, you are likely to use this one also, the GIF. Then also you have another one which is called the PNG. PNG is similar to GIF. And then the last one we said is a PDF, which is portable document format, which is very useful for displaying files across multiple platforms and applications. Now, this PDF is very important. Like, for example, the file that you have saved using PDF, you can open it using CorelDRAW. The one that we saved using PDF, you can open using Illustrator. You can open it using which other, even InDesign. That's why creating a new document, I've shown you how we open. Now let's go back to our Photoshop. I want to show you something. Let's go back to our Photoshop. Now, let's say, for example, you want to add another image. You want to add another image, maybe you want to edit another image. So what you do, you click on File, and then you go to Open, as usual, and then you select a photo of your choice. Like, for example, I'll choose, I think, a nice photo. Let me just choose that lady. So here we have two images. You realize that Photoshop also has some tabs. We have this tab here, which is our second image. So, and the first one. So we haven't closed the first tab. You can have several tabs. If I want another image, I just need to go to File again, Open, and then I choose a different image. I say Open. So this one will open another tab. So you have different tabs now. 1, 2, 3. If I want another one, I can just go again to File. Yes, who's that? I click on that, I say Open. So you can see we have how many images? 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are different tabs. Okay. If you want to close some tabs, you just click close. You just click. You don't have to close the entire application. You just need to go to that specific tab and then you close. Let me show you another way of opening an image on a different tab. Now I want you to be very keen. Instead of going to File, Open, you can minimize your Photoshop, and then just a minute, you go to the Photoshop folder, and then you identify the image that you want to place on your Photoshop. So you have minimized your Photoshop, and then you open the folder that has got your photos, and then you identify the photo that you want to, the photo you want to edit. Then you click on it. Once you click on it, you drag it. You go with it to Photoshop, and then you place it somewhere. You see somewhere where there is a new tab, where the position for tabs, you place it in instead of now placing it inside the document, you're going to place it. You see where we have tabs? We have the first image. So you see a plus copy. Once you see that plus copy, you release your mouse. Can everybody see that? Then you release. Okay, let me just give you some time to do that. So you're just going to identify an image. Like I can just click this one, I drag it, I go with it to my Photoshop. I come to where we have our tabs, that section. Then you release, you see copy. Then once you release, your image will appear in a new tab. Okay, if I want another one, I go back to my folder. I want another image, so I click on that image, I drag it, I go with it to my Photoshop, and then I release it. I release it somewhere, not inside, but on the tab section. You see this tab section? I release it there. So that one could not open because it was not the right kind of document. So I choose a different image. Actually, this one is not format. So I can choose a different image. Let me choose there it is. So I come to this point, copy. In the tab section, I release my image. There is our image. Okay. So you have several tabs. 1, 2, 3, which is okay. Now let me go back to the class. I see that there are some questions. Now, is everybody okay?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So this is different tabs. If I want to close, I just close my tab there. Okay, let's try. Let's see, for example, you want to place an image here. Like I want that certain lady, that one of the ladies, to be in this photo that has horses. So what I will do, I'll go back to my folder, and then I choose a lady, one of the ladies here. I can choose this lady. Or which one? Which one is good? Let me choose. Okay, here. This is the best image. So I click on this one, and then I release it. Now, not on the tab section, but inside the photo. So once I release, you realize that my photo now is inside. It's not on a new tab, but it's actually inside. Inside. And of course, I can enlarge it using those. Okay, once I'm done enlarging, I can just confirm. Okay. Okay, I can also add another one. So, okay. Now, before we add another one, I want you to go to the tool section. Let me ask somebody. Let me ask someone, are you done placing another image on a photo? Do you have an image like this one, the one I have? Amolo, do you have such an image? Do you have an image inside another image?
Yes, I do. How do you confirm the image once you have resized it?
Okay. So that's where I was actually going. Okay, let me repeat. Let me undo what I'm doing. Okay. Let me undo this. Okay, so you come to this point, you choose an image, like I can choose, I want a lady. So I come to this point, release. So there we have. Now, if I want to reduce the size of this image, I'm going to use this, the normal way of reducing an image. If you have done things like Microsoft Office, I'm sure that one will not be a problem. Reducing the size or increasing the size is not an issue. So if you want to confirm this image, there's a check mark, the one that I'm pointing. That one is a commit, transform, enter. You just click on it once, and then your image will be confirmed, or your changes will be confirmed. If, for example, you want to enlarge this image, you go to the tools. I want to enlarge now this lady. I want her to be bigger than she is. So I come to the tools. I choose the first tool, which is called the move tool. Once I click on the move tool, I click on my image. Now, if you realize that you cannot see the points that you use to enlarge a photo, like mine now, I cannot see those points where I can actually enlarge my photo. What you do, you're going to go to this section. You can see somewhere in the option bar, you can see somewhere written auto select and show transform controls. So check those two. Check auto select and also check show transform tool. And then from there you'll see you have you can be able to enlarge the photo. So in case these ones are not, once you have enlarged it, you confirm. You confirm. Okay. I said if you cannot see, you cannot be able to see the transform controls for enlarging, make sure that these specific options are selected. That is the show transform controls and the auto select. So from there, you can be able to enlarge your image. And then once you're done, you commit. You commit the changes. You can also reduce, and then you commit. Okay. Now, I want us to save. I think we for today, we can go up to that point. Tomorrow, I'll be showing you more complex things. Like, for example, like tomorrow, I can also show you how we can get rid of this background so that this lady will appear as if she's inside this photo here. She's part of this photo. Currently, as you can see, somebody can see she's not part of that photo. But as we continue, maybe tomorrow, I'll show you how we can blend her to this environment. Hi. So any question concerning this photo that I've placed?
So
Enlarge?
this lesson, about the lesson,
Yes.
has it been recorded so that somebody can view even late hours?
Yes, I've actually recorded it.
Yes.
We have been recording.
Oh, okay.
So immediately after the session,
Yep.
you'll be able to see, you'll be able to watch this one later.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is how you enlarge, and then once you can also double click to confirm the changes. Double clicking is also another way of confirming the changes, or you can use, if you want to ignore the changes, you can choose this one, this specific button here. That one is to ignore. If you change and you want to ignore those changes, you ignore, you enlarge, you ignore. That is good. You reduce, you confirm. That is good. So after that, you can just save your work, file, save as, and then you go to your class folder. We are going to save it as a PDF. Oh no, not PDF, PSD, Photoshop PSD, and we call it class 1. Class 1, and then you save. And then you click OK. Then you can exit your Photoshop. To exit your Photoshop, you just click on File, and then you exit, or you can close. You can click the Close button. Now, what I will do, I'll forward you the notes that we were using this class. Like for example, you'll be able to see the international paper sizes that we use when you are using Photoshop. We have A4, we have A6, A5. Yeah, you'll be able to see all that.
okay, about the notes, will you convert them to PDF formula so that you can open them even on phones?
Or you want me to? Yeah, I can convert this one to PDF. Or what I will do, let me send you the book. There's a certain book that I'm using, a PDF book. Let me just forward it to you. Let me attach it for you. Good.
And about, do you also have Illustrator notes that you can attach to me?
Okay, for Illustrator.
Yep.
Those ones maybe I don't. Let me check what I have. Just a minute. I'm checking whether the file has attached. Okay, it's still attaching. It's quite big for Photoshop. That's why it's taking some time.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, could you please send us the notes in the group?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. The issue is that the file is so big. It's actually 9 MB, and the computer is actually taking a lot of time to upload. Okay, let me just do this. Let me send you this PowerPoint. I think the PowerPoint is much easier than the book itself. I'm going to save it as a PDF. So just a minute. So it's like we are having an issue with the internet.
No.
I'm not able to upload the PDF. Let me try again.
Why don't you send to our emails?
Or your emails, Do you have the, okay, now what you can do, you can just post your email addresses on the chat section. Because this one is taking some time. Okay, it's uploading actually. Uploading. It's uploading.
I have a question.
Yes, you have a question, yeah?
Okay, so you can create a WhatsApp group where it will be easier to like send a message at once where everybody can receive it and it will not be that much
Or
baggage.
a WhatsApp
Yeah,
group,
yeah. But it's easier to send like
For that one, not unless you first of all create with the rest of the students, you make arrangements or not. Maybe you can actually, if all the students agree, you can create a group among yourself. Then maybe tomorrow you can also add me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for now, maybe you can just first of all you need to agree. There needs to be an agreement because I know there are different people from different campuses. First of all, you agree whether you want that one. You want to create a WhatsApp group, and then maybe after that one, you'll add me later afterwards.
Okay. So that will be easier to share the notes and it won't be much.
Okay. Yeah, it would be easier. But for now, let me just. Actually, we usually use this upload option. It's only that today we're having a challenge.
Okay.
And the child actually send the notes from this. I don't know why today is giving us an issue. Actually, this session, because in the previous sessions I have been sending them. Okay, make sure you you can forward me your email addresses so that I send you the notes in your email before you leave. Yes, some I've seen for Clinton, I've seen for Omolo Eric. Also, we have for Ratna and also for Sinzi Accord Oile. Okay. Miri Ivy. Okay. Okay, now I think we have come to the end of the session. Uploads.
Okay, thank you.
Just a minute. I want to see whether it's going to upload. Actually, I'm trying to upload it, but taking a lot of time. What I will do, you can just sign out. Once you log in, you're likely to find it. Currently, it's saying that please take the site experiencing an outage. We're having a network issue. That's why it's not uploading. So I'll send it to the email address. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Okay, thank you also for your time, and we have enjoyed the lesson.
All right.
Bye, sir.
All right. Have a nice evening.
You too.
Same.
You too.
All right.
Can you leave?
Yes, you can leave. Yes, you can leave now. I think we are okay.
Yeah, for you.
Mhm.